Hey, I'm going to show you some chord voicings today using open strings. Using these chords, it will pretty greatly expand your chord vocabulary, and it'll help you make a lot of new chords and some stuff that you've probably heard on records before. A lot of bands that use chords like these are a lot of progressive rock bands, your bands like Dream Theater or Rush or Opeth, and just some regular just rock bands use them too. Van Halen uses a lot of them. Um, So let's get started. The first thing you need to know to do this is a power chord. Power chord is your root, the 5, and then the octave. So if we're playing a G power chord, the notes would be G, C, no, G, D rather, and another G. So power chords are used in all different types of music. Alright, so that's pretty much the foundation of what we're going to do. Alright, these open chords, they work well, I find, especially in the key of E, and then keys like G and C, they work pretty well in. Alright, so, let's just take a progression in the key of E. Alright, let's go 1, 5, 6, 4. Alright, let's just play it through one time. Pretty simple. Alright, so that sounds, pretty boring, safe, but still a little boring. So, what's some ways that we could spice it up? Well, we could try it by incorporating some more open strings into the chords. So instead of the E, let's start right here with an E power chord. Let me refresh my screen. Alright, an E power chord on the A string, 7th fret. Alright, we're going to do the open string below it and all the open strings on top. Now, if it's in tune, I'm not sure if I'm in tune or not. Hopefully I am, but these strings are pretty old. If it's in tune, it'll be a very rich sound, because for this specific chord, you're adding the 5 and another E. So this chord on a lead sheet, you'll sometimes see it as just E5, because that's really all it is. Alright, so first chord, we have the first chord down. The second chord, the 5 chord, is a B major. So if we're going to do what we're doing with the power chord and then adding opening strings, you're going to add the B and E string. And that makes a B sus4 chord, because it has the open strings B, which is the octave of the root, and then it has the E, which is the 4 of the chord. So it's a real nice kind of open sound, and naturally you'd want to resolve it to this chord, so kind of like that. You see how that works? Alright, so we have 2 chords down. We have E5, B sus4, then we move to our 6th chord, C sharp minor. Alright, so we're going to take our C sharp power chord, and we're going to add in the top 2 strings. It's probably one of my favorite chords using this technique. This chord is a C sharp minor 7. The notes we're adding are the B, which would be the 7, the flat 7, and the E, which is a minor 3rd. And then finally, our last chord, the 4, it's an A. And so for this one, you only have to play 2 notes because your root is an open string. So we'll have this. So notes we're adding B and E. The B is the 9, and the E is the 5 of the chord. So people would call this either an E suspended 2 or an E9. You can call it what you want, it's just semantics, it's the same chord. So let's see how our progression has changed. Now on an acoustic especially, I like this sound. It also sounds great on a 12 string. But if you're playing in a power trio and you really want to add some more, atmosphere, some more voicing, some more power behind your chords. Using these open string chords, it's a good way to take up sound. Some other chords. Let's go to the key of G or E minor. Common heavy metal progression is the 4-5-6. It's your standard kind of Iron Maiden, old school metal kind of thing. And so we're gonna approach this kind of a different way using open strings, and it'll kind of change the sound of the chords. So let's take your C power chord and add two notes. The B would be the major 7 of the chord, and the E is a major 3rd. So this gives us a C major 7. Now if we do the same thing with the D, power chord, add B and E, this gives us a D 6-9, because it gives us the 6 of the B and the 9 or the 2 of the E. And then if we keep going to the 6, we're back to the E5. So instead of just going something simple like that, by just simply adding these two open strings, we're making the progression, sound a lot more intense, I think, and there's a lot more sound behind it, a lot more power, because there's more strings. So instead of sounding like that, I'll sound like. There's a lot of different variations on this you can do. You can, of course, do them on the low E string. If you do that, you might want to do the major 3rd in there as well, and not just a power chord. I mean, you can if you want, if that's the sound that you're going for, but in most cases you're going to want to put it in your 3rd. And sometimes if you do them on the low E string, you can also do it without the root. So it would be like that, and you can do just like kind of a drone E on the bottom. It's kind of a rush thing, with Xanadu. All Xanadu is it's just the same concept of taking a power chord and open strings, only with the drone E. So that was just a real quick lesson. I hope that helped you come up with some ideas. Of course, don't just use my chords, make your own, find your own chords that you like, and of course change them around however you want. See what different sounds you can get. Alright, leave me a comment or something if you have any questions or want me to post another video. Alright, thank you.